In this Nairobi studio, change is in the air. Abigail Kima is hosting the podcast Hali Hewa, which means climate in Swahili. Since 2022, Abigail has hosted voices from 20 African countries, connecting scientists, farmers, and environmental activists through one message: Africa must tell its own story. She got the idea after visiting a global climate conference in Scotland.
It felt like a very disconnected space from the realities of African communities, Kenya, for example, that are grappling with impacts of climate change. And so I really wanted to bridge that information gap between a very elitist space and communities who deal with impacts of climate change on a daily basis.
For today's guest, climate advocate Kaluki Paul Mutuko, the stories on Abigail's show resonate deeply.
Abigail is using the platform to break down hard jargons into simplified climate messaging that can reach many different people, especially in the community. And so to me, I found myself watching this program to also relate with the communities and understand climate change from a local perspective.
Kaluki is an environmentalist who leads campaigns to protect and restore important natural habitats. One of his projects, Inuka, was in the Ondiri Wetlands west of Nairobi.
Ondiri is a very important wetland, and it's faced a lot of serious chaos, destruction, forest fires, people encroaching into it, greenhouses that are really contributing to its dwindling. So we funded them to really see how they can, create awareness programs and trainings and allowing people to see the importance of that ecosystem.
I know Inuka really did quite a bit in Ondiri, and I got to witness that.
The two set out on a field trip to see the impact of the community efforts. Locals have been sensitized about the importance of this freshwater ecosystem and now help to protect it.
The issue was not so much more about us having an activity for the wetland itself, but an activity around the wetland, because a lot of it has been or was encroached for farming, people cutting it down to build, or just also looting, grabbing the land.
Being here at Ondiri today, one thing that has stood out for me is the fact that so many of us are unaware of where our water comes from. Really, truly understanding what water sources mean, because the most we know about water for a big population of us is the water in our taps. But it's interesting to be at Ondiri wetland today and to understand just how many people this particular wetland is serving in terms of water provision, and not only water, but just the survival of the ecosystem.
The once endangered area is slowly regenerating, also helped by people like Robert Meyer. He has been tackling the massive waste and sewage pollution and encroachment on the area. After a decade of restoration efforts, the community-led transformation is becoming visible. Robert says that Abigail's platform has inspired many to do more to protect Kenya's fragile ecosystems.
Hali Hewa comes in so handy to make these young people understand, or to answer the question, why are we doing what we are doing? Why are we planting the trees? Because some people, they just hear of planting trees and they think it's just something you just do. But it's critical that they can help us.
The podcaster wants to keep such issues in the public eye. Away from the wetlands, she continues her mission to inspire, whether in her studio.
Well, thank you so much for staying tuned on the Hali Hewa podcast.
Or here at a conference in Nairobi, Abigail Kima shows how storytelling can amplify ecological solutions and help a generation to see hope where others see crisis. So today, spending time with Abigail has shown me that telling climate stories isn't just about the data. It's about the people, it's about their hopes and the power of one voice to spark a wider conversation. And it's also a reminder that storytelling itself is a form of climate action. What stands out most is how her platform empowers young people to see themselves as part of the solution, just like Paul Kaluki has been doing. It has made me think more deeply about my own role, about how we tell our stories and who gets to tell them. Because in the end, the climate story is our collective story, and every voice truly